Let's play 1-Bit Pac Man Zen by Braindead Games on Playdate. Alright, so what have we got going on here? We have various options we can dig into. The difficulty settings can be placed from normal, hard, and easy. I took easy, it was a bit too easy, but then again I came unstuck at the end, as you'll see. Different power-ups. Shoot, that's interesting. Pac Man as a shoot 'em up. I'd never come across this before. I first came into the genre of this kind of maze-based dot eating genre with Grandstand's Mini Munchman handheld. If anyone remembers that, please holler in the comments. I loved this. I was whatever, 7 years old. It had a stopwatch, it had a clock, it had Pac Man on it, and it was kind of Game and Watchy, and you could sort of get used to the play, and I became higher, or whatever it is, clocked the game after a while, and I loved that thing. So that was my first introduction to handheld Pac Man games, and weirdly, the Playdate is the same yellow as the Grandstand Mini Munchman game. Also, of course, Pac Man himself, who was inspired by a pizza with a slice taking out of it, famously. So, Pac Man itself was a phenomenon when it came out in 1981. Our school was obsessed with Pac Man stickers and gum. But the arcade machine, I would see it here and there, but not really get into it. So how does this stand up? Well, it's a Pac Man game. It's perfectly serviceable. You can see it's nice and clear, nice and bold. You know exactly what's going on. It works really, really well on this tiny, tiny grayscale screen. The movements, it's like Pac Man. It feels exactly correct. It's a really good port of Pac Man if you want a tiny game of Pac Man in your top front shirt pocket. If you were to wear such a thing, then this would be the game for you. I sideloaded this, so I must have got it from the Playdate itch community, which I'll link to. So it was either free or really cheap. What can we say? It's Pac Man. Graphically, it's very basic. If I had to give it a score, it'd be like a 5, right? It works, but there's no real flair. But it's Pac Man. It wasn't that graphically intense in the first place. Sound-wise, the sound it's pretty dull, really. It's bloops and bleeps when you do things. They sound arcadey. They're technically correct. It's okay, but they could have tried harder. So the sound has to be maybe a 4. Gameplay, well, it's a 6 or maybe a 7 if you really like Pac Man. If you really like Pac Man, then definitely get this. If you like retro gaming and you're a Gen X character like myself and remember the first sort of wave of Pac Man, then this is just a good basic version for your pocket. It's a 5-10 minute blast at a time kind of thing, but you'll come back to it if you like the game and the mechanics of it, which I do. If you know nothing about this kind of game, does it stand up as a game in its own right? Of course, yeah, it does. It's a classic for a reason. It's fun, it's challenging. But it's a bit basic, isn't it? I mean, it's the same maze every time. I think it just gets faster. But for what they're charging for it, if you think this could be something you might enjoy for a bit, then go and get it. So it's a 6 out of 10 in it, really. No disrespect. It's perfectly good.